Day 7 here at the Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro Maui 2012. Welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful morning here in Maui. A little bit of a high cloud and haze hanging over Ho'okipa this morning, and pretty light conditions out there at the moment, Ben.
Yeah, it looked like, according to the forecast maps, that this morning was going to be a little funky. Didn't really know exactly what it was going to bring until we woke up this morning, but as you said, Sky, a bit of a high cloud, kind of hazy out, but there is a little bit of a flow coming off the water, at least in generally the right direction. Forecasts look, as the day progresses, to sort of burn off a little bit and have that sort of typical trade pattern fill back into the beach here. It's really just going to be a matter of time when that actually happens, between where we sit now at 9 a.m. and at what time this afternoon we can go. But pretty optimistic that at some point this afternoon we'll be able to get underway with the heat that was postponed yesterday of men's round 1, heat number 2, Sky, that you were in, and get this competition resumed for hopeful culmination and finishing by this Saturday, the last day of the holding period.
Yeah, and it was great, obviously, to get those wild card heats finished yesterday. We are straight into the main competition now. We ran men's heat 1 of round 1 yesterday, as you were saying, and my heat number 2 of that first round got postponed or canceled due to the deteriorating conditions. But looking at the forecast charts yesterday, we were being really optimistic, kind of keeping our fingers crossed for wind. We actually ended up getting that wind. The forecast is looking better for today, and especially through the next few days into the end of the holding period, as you were saying. And yeah, we expect to be able to get up and running here hopefully this afternoon and finish this thing off in great fashion in the next few days.
Yeah, and it was great to see some of the wild card heats yesterday. Perhaps one of the biggest surprises came out of the women's wild card heat yesterday. Muna White, coming over from Oahu, just absolutely ripping, maybe establishing herself as a force to be reckoned with as we get into the women's main event, potentially this afternoon, hopefully, as the wind fills in. But perhaps probably the biggest story of yesterday would be her performance and kind of coming out and showing some of the girls who've been following the tour for the year that perhaps this isn't going to be a cakewalk through the park to the eventual championship here at Ho'okipa, that you're going to have to go through some pretty serious local competition.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot about Muna. I think we all have, from the guys over on Oahu where she resides and rides all the time. She was going to actually come on tour last year, was busy with school and some other things, and it's great to finally see her make an appearance here, really close to her home spot over on Oahu. I think really similar conditions to where she rides at Mokes in the North Shore of Oahu. She's used to facing the wave and going right, and I think this wave just really suits her style, and man, she definitely turned some heads yesterday.
Yeah, so with that, let's go check out a recap from yesterday's action here at the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro.
It's the 6th day of the competition, and we're cautiously optimistic that we're going to get some wind today. It looks promising. There's a good southeasterly flow which kind of wraps in here, and hopefully we'll get at least a few rounds in. Oh, everybody's totally stoked. I mean, even though we haven't had wind, we've had epic wave conditions for surfing, and everybody's enjoying themselves. And today we've got good waves again, and the wind should fill in, and maybe we'll get this thing going. Well, we're planning to run the trials today with the local wild cards, and hopefully we can get some of the local guys in and into the main event.
fun. Got to go out in the first heat out there, no one out except for a couple other people. I don't know who they were, but they kind of strange heat. It was super fun, really fun. Good waves, not much wind, but just starting things off and get a lot better. Oh, everyone here, they're really good riders apparently. I'm just getting to watch them ride right now, but it's pretty fun just to see them rip it up, and looks like everyone's having a good time. That's what matters.
Fun. I was kind of nervous at first. This was my first contest, but once I got out there, it was just like regular kiting. This is the first time I've been on Maui and kiting here, but we've been surfing it pretty much every day. So kind of learning the wave this past week, and that definitely helped. And at home, our spots are pretty similar to this on Oahu. So I guess that was enough training for me.
Great action there yesterday in those qualifier heats. Talked a lot about Muna's heat there yesterday. We saw a lot of her on screen there, as well as Sebastian Ribeiro with the highest heat score total of yesterday, also establishing himself as one to watch out for in this competition.
Yeah, actually Sebastian probably happy to get that heat out of the way yesterday and advancing directly into round 4. Hasn't been feeling so good the last few days, so I bet it's a blessing in disguise for him to be able to go into the water the earliest yesterday. Probably wasn't feeling so well, but coming out of that with a victory, probably now has at least a couple of chances are that we won't get to another heat of his today, so it has a couple days to rest before being back on the water. And again, he was the only one to complete that first round of the men's heat of the first heat of the men's round. Exactly. 1. That was the only heat that went off. Sebastian taking the victory, and then as we saw the qualifiers. So pretty good action coming out of a relatively short day yesterday. Really only 4 heats were run yesterday, but sets us up great for the main event heading into this afternoon and the remainder of the holding period. Yeah, exactly. So riders meeting just took place right behind us here at Ho'okipa Beach Park, and we did just hear from that riders meeting that they are going to postpone until 11 a.m. So 11 will be the next update, and we're going to wait for this wind to hopefully fill in. As we mentioned before, we do have a bit of an onshore flow this morning, waiting for some of this high cloud to burn off, and hopefully that will induce that thermal that we saw yesterday afternoon out here. Yeah, so until 11 a.m. we'll be back with you with the latest updates. Perhaps at that moment we'll be bringing you live action of resuming the round 1 action there in heat number 2 of the men. My guess is it probably won't be at 11, but that's the next update to be able to see what the afternoon looks like, see if as you said, the cloud burns off, and it looks like that afternoon push will start to come this direction. So 11 a.m. back here for the next update here at the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro. We will see you back here at 11. This is your 11 a.m. update here from day 7 of the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro. The wind just started to fill in. We were looking at glassy conditions for most of the morning. It's a little bit strange with this high cloud still hanging over, but it does look like the wind is filling in from the right direction, Ben. Yeah, and the forecast was a little bit iffy on whether or not this cloud would burn off. It did call for some high clouds. Didn't call for any low clouds, which usually means it shouldn't rain or anything like that, but it had that trade wind pushing behind it, so we could see some clearing. However, even if it's not super clear, it looks like the wind is building, and will be able to enable us to get this competition underway here pretty shortly, Sky. Yeah, just really in the last 20 minutes or so, we started seeing a little bit of texture out there, and looking out to the horizon now, a little bit upwind of Ho'okipa, seeing some white caps out there.
So it is looking like hopefully we're going to be on here pretty soon. We just got word from the riders meeting that just took place that we are going to have a first possible start of noon, so in just under an hour we might see this thing get underway.
Yeah, and again, we did get through a few heats yesterday, mostly the qualifiers and that first heat of men's round 1. So first up for the day will be round 1 men's heat number 2. And hopefully will be the next time that you get to see us, we will be bringing you live action from that second heat. As you said, Sky, first possible start just under an hour from now. If by chance the next riders meeting happens and they decide to put that on hold a little bit more, that will be our next update to you at home to let you know exactly what's happening. But again, fingers crossed that the next time you see us, it will be for the commencement of that the round 1 men's heat 2.
Exactly. So please stay tuned. Thanks for joining us, and you can check out our Facebook page also for all the latest updates. We'll be posting them on there. Also on our Twitter page, KSP World Tour. So for now, I'm Sky Solbach.
Ben Meyer. See you in just under an hour.
Here from Ho'okipa Beach Park on day 7 of the 2012 KSP Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro. A little bit of wind filling in, Ben. We had a rider, Me Too, just went out to test the waters, but unfortunately just doesn't look like it's quite contestable yet.
Yeah, there's definitely a pretty solid set of white caps on the outside. It's kind of bending in a little bit here into the beach, kind of pulsing in and out, trying to figure out exactly the wind strength for the afternoon. So we have gone to a shorter call span now to have everybody ready as soon as that wind kind of fills in and stays. Again, it's kind of in that moment right now. It's trying to kind of coming in and out of the beach, just not quite contestable out there. Again, as we've had the entire holding period, and we'll continue to have plenty of waves out there on offer. The swell today a bit more peaky, not quite as long and drawn out as it's been the last few days, but might prove an advantage for some of the guys getting out there, as there's not necessarily going to be only one exact spot that you need to park yourself in to be able to catch some of the waves that come in. It seems like you'll be able to move around a little bit in the contest area, and again should be able to, again, fingers crossed, get this thing underway, hopefully within the next half an hour here, Sky.
Yeah, it's definitely windier right now than it was at this time of day yesterday, so that is definitely a very good sign. A little bit different weather with these high clouds, but I have seen it get quite windy even when we have high clouds like this. So the wind is blowing out of the right direction. We just need a few more knots, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing underway. As you said, Ben, pretty peaky surf, not quite as walled up as yesterday. It's actually great waves out there on offer right now, kind of A-frame peaks, and as soon as we get the wind, it's going to be a great day of action, no doubt.
Yep, so just coming up a little bit less than a half an hour from now, we will have our first possible start. We are moving to 15-minute updates for the riders down on the beach. However, we will be live with you again in just under a half an hour with either A, the next update, or B, some live action from that men's round 1 heat number 2. So stay tuned. stay with us here. Keep checking back. Again, Twitter, Facebook, of course, the status on the page that you're viewing right now. But until 12:30, we'll let you have a good rest of the early afternoon and see you in just about 25 minutes. Good afternoon. This is your 12:30 update here from Day 7 of the Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro Maui 2012. Well, we do have a rider out there on the water at the moment. Looks like Australian Keahi de Aboides. I believe he's on a 13-meter kite, so still relatively light wind conditions. However, it does feel like it just sort of kicked up a notch here, Ben. Yeah, we find ourselves in about the same position we were half an hour ago, just sort of sitting around and waiting for that wind to fill all the way into the beach. It's, as we said before, kind of pulsing in and out. Seems like it's been a bit more consistent within the last 5-10 minutes. Again, not super early, but you know, I would imagine that within the next hour or so we might have something. You kind of can even it out a little bit more for the wind conditions to be able to get out off the beach into the lineup. Again, Keahi, anytime he goes on the water, makes it look pretty easy out there, but is on a 13, relatively big kite here for Ho'okipa. So again, assuming that things go the way that the forecasts are pointing to, a little bit pick up as the afternoon goes on, and we were again still on that 15-minute call. So as soon as it looks like it's ready to go, we'll push the go button and get out there.
Exactly. So it is windier than it was at this point yesterday. So we do still have quite a bit of hope to be able to run a bunch of heats into the afternoon and evening today. So the next first possible start will be at 1 p.m., just a half hour from now, so please stay tuned on ksdworldtour.com and check out our Facebook page and Twitter for all the latest updates, and we will be back here with you just under a half hour from now.
Well, we are just getting underway. Live action here. Men's round 1, heat number 2, just on the water. Heat number 3 coming up. We still have that little bit of a cloud, a little bit of a haze out there, but as you see on your screen in front of you here, plenty of great waves on offer. It's windy enough to get out there to be competing. We are just moments away from heat number 3 of men's round 1, coming at you live from Ho'okipa State Park here on the beautiful island of Maui, our final stop on the 2012 KSP World Tour. Again, heat number 3 of the men coming up. In the white, we'll have Gili Brandao. In the green, Machu Almeida. And in the blue, Juan Ricci. All these guys will be hot guys to watch out there. Juan Ricci getting a play-in from the qualification rounds yesterday that we ran into the main event. And, of course, Gili Brandao, the Brazilian, has been riding really well lately. He is always one to keep your eye on and watch. And Machu Almeida, the young Cape Verdean, is as well one of those kids who anything is possible. Up on your screen here, that actual third spot will be Juan Ricci, living here in Maui from Argentina. Again, getting that wild card spot from the qualification round yesterday. Unfortunately, Grant Baker, Twiggy, has a shoulder injury, was unable to enter the event, but super stoked that Juan was able to play into this main event again for round number 1, heat number 3 coming at you in just a matter of time. And yeah, we got underway. It's been a little bit of a slow start this morning. Winds were a bit weird, a bit funky, and appear to, even though there's still a bit of cloud cover out there, the wind is at its normal direction and allowing us to get going here with the event in day number 7 as we switch over to live action here. In the green, this is Machu Almeida coming at you. He's a tall, skinny kid, has tons of balance. There's rarely a position that he gets in that he can't get out of. You see almost pulling that right there, his foot coming unglued off the front, and still almost able to stick with it. But yeah, Machu, again, should be, he was a little bit disappointed. And that's, I believe, is going to be green flag. Start of heat number 3 here, men's round 1. Again, introducing you to everybody in the white, Gili Brandao, the Brazilian. In the green, Machu Almeida, the Cape Verdean. And in the blue, Juan Ricci, living here in Maui. Again, heat number 3 of the men's draw coming at you. Find ourselves with still plenty of waves on offer. The swell today a little bit more peaky than it's been, but kind of opens up the door for these guys to spread out a bit in the heat and perhaps sort of strategize on exactly the best location to set themselves up for as this swell continues to pound the north shore here of Maui. Again, it's a little bit peaky out there, so these guys probably jockeying around for position a little bit more in conditions like this than a typical swell that sort of wraps all the way across the bay here. So it'll be interesting to see the way these 3 guys utilize what's on offer out there and how they position themselves. Right up down there in front of the judges' tower, it's been walling up pretty nicely. But again, sort of that middle section, upwind a bit, has also been sort of offering up some pretty good walls of water up there. So as we just get this heat number 3 underway, it'll be interesting to see these guys out there as we switch into live action there in the green. That is Machu Almeida coming in on the inside, trying to work that white water all the way in as much as possible. Again, these guys knowing that getting as many turns, utilizing as much of the wave as they possibly can is going to increase their score as we switch back out on the outside in the blue. This looks like Juan Ricci pulling out of that one. Saw something he didn't quite like as it wrapped its way into the inside there. both Machu and Juan working their way back out to get into the lineup. So we switch back to live action. Nice off the top turn there by Gili Brandao. Again, riding in his natural, he's a regular footer riding in his natural position here. Pretty spectacular backside rider, as most of the Brazilians here on tour are. But again, stoked to be going frontside here. And a great opening turn on that wave to get this heat underway. And if you're just joining us, we have just begun the day here. Second day of action, day number 7 of the waiting period. Everybody's stoked to be on the water. Day number 2. Again, not everyone having the chance to do their heats yet. So, guys frothing to eat out there, girls frothing to eat out there. We're able to compete and complete the wild card portion of the event yesterday, completing the main event. And I know everybody, all the guys and girls are out there psyched to be able to have another day here at Ho'okipa. As we look out on the water now, Machu Almeida, the young Cape Verdean, on the wave, trying to position himself there on the inside. Looks like he'll have a nice little off the turn, but just fall out of the back of that, not able to utilize any more of that wave. He'll be looking to increase that score for sure. Looks like we have Gili Brandao here. Sets up for a nice, powerful off the top, back into the trough, down under the inside. Nice, powerful, able to pull out of it as that thing closes out in front of him. Should be a decent scoring wave. Knowing Gili, he'll probably want to get back out there and increase that. Chances are it's probably more of a backup wave score for Gili. Back to live action. This is Machu again in front of you. Juan Ricci also on a wave there on the inside. Machu into his bottom turn. Trying to keep the power up there. Barely able to put it in with that wave. Kind of runs away from him there. And he starts to head back out. All of our riders on their way back out. Awaiting the next swell. Next set wave to come through. Again, out on the water in the white, Gili Brandao, the Brazilian, still an outside shot of taking the overall tour championship here in 2012 for the KSP. Important for sure. He's had a long career. As we see him here coming on the inside, picking out one of these set waves. We'll see if he can get around that crumbling section, get more into the critical point, into the pocket, setting himself up as we see Machu right behind him. Gili kicking out of that wave, not really liking what it was going to offer him on the inside. Machu on the inside, a good sized one. Nice little top turn, back into the flats, around and up another strong top turn, and pulls it back inside. 2-turn wave for Machu. Again, should be a decent scoring wave for him. He'll probably still try to increase increase that score as this heat rolls on. We are approaching just about 10.5 minutes left in this heat number 3 of men's round 1. It is about 1:30 p.m. here, local time. Do have plenty of afternoon left in order to run as many heats as possible. Again, forecast looking pretty good as the day rolls on, and as the week rolls on. That is for sure. So be super stoked to get through a few rounds today and set ourselves up for a pretty great finale here as we head into the last weekend here of not only the Ho'okipa Kitesurf Pro here in Maui, but also the entire contest year, the World Tour wrapping up for the year at this final event. So we see updating scores on the screen in front of you. Gili Randau out in front with a 2-wave total score, 8.83. Machu Almeida behind him, 3.67 2-wave score. However, it probably doesn't include that last wave that we saw, so I expect that will increase. Try to give you as up-to-date as possible for the scoring, but as always, scores are unofficial until we hear final word. And exactly with that, updating right now, Machi Almeida posting a 2-wave total of 5.1, still not what he's going to want in order to take this heat home as we switch over and see Juan Ricci on the inside, getting a couple of turns before that one sort of runs away from him. Machu Almeida there again on the outside, a nice little solid turn, setting himself up for another on the inside. Little foam climb there back down into the flats and before it closes out on the inside. Swell direction today a little bit, feels like it's a little bit west. It's the left is actually working fairly well here at Ho'okipa at the point. Watching the surfers earlier, getting a few left-handed barrels. A little bit more challenging here going on the right as we see Gili with a nice powerful topside hack here. Back into the flats and goes up for another one off the lip and down into the flats, trying to outrace that foam ball, but looks like it's going to chase him down. 2-turn wave for Gili, but nice and powerful. Gili, again, a veteran in the waves, a veteran in competition. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time. And leading this heat so far, a little bit more than halfway through this heat. I would expect that that last wave perhaps bumping Gili's score up a little bit. He now sits in first place, still with that 8.832 wave score. Machu Almeida increasing, bettering his situation as it stands. Now he's at a 2-wave score, 6.44, but still needing an over 5-point wave score to catch Gili, at least as we see in front of us right now, but that could definitely increase in what he needs based on what Gili's last wave was. Juan Ricci sitting in third, wanting to better his situation with a couple of needing a combination to get himself back up into contention for taking home this heat number 3 of men's round 1. So we see Gili upwind here. See some texture on the water, definitely a bit windier now than it was earlier as this starts to wall up for him. But looks like there wasn't too much he was going to be able to use as that started to peel off downwind. Love to take this time to thank our sponsors here, of course, the County of Maui. Huge reason why this event is happening here at the beautiful Ho'okipa State Park. Big thanks to the County of Maui. Fantastic to have the support of the local community welcoming us with the true aloha spirit. Thank you for having us all here, riders, staff included. Big thanks, and of course to our industry sponsors, Best Kiteboarding, Cabrina Kiteboarding, Nash Kiteboarding, North, and Ion being our industry sponsors here for this event. It's super great to hear and see all the support that we have from the industry. Trying to push this tour of kite surfing to the next level, supporting these guys out here who are some of the best kite surf guys on the planet. As we go back to live action in front of you, Machu Almeida trying to increase his situation here, needing to better his score. needing a mid-7 pointer to catch Gili, and though working that to the inside, that's not going to be enough to catch Gili. I'd venture to say Gili now sitting in front with a 2-wave score, 11.33, bettering his situation with a previous wave. He's sitting with a 6.5 and a 4.83. Machu Almeida with a 3.83, 3.77, again needing a mid-7 range score to catch Gili Brandao. Juan Ricci we see in the foreground here trying to pump, get some extra power to that kite. Looks like it's not going to allow him to get in the first position, the position that he wanted to be in. Got a good set out the back here. Machu Almeida on this wave. Not quite able to pull off that off the top. Switching back to live action, that's Gili Brandao outside. Finds himself in a similar situation as we just saw Machu Almeida going after it, trying to get that powerful top turn off the lip there, not quite being able to pull it off. Both guys going down on the inside, one of the bigger sets of the day rolling through. Unfortunately, none of the riders able to really take advantage of that last set that rolled through. Again, sitting Gili Brandao in the white, sitting in first place, 11.33 is 2-wave score. Machu Almeida sitting in second place with a 7.62 wave total, needing a really high score, highest that we've seen of the day, to catch Gili Brandao. Here as we approach, under 5 minutes left in the heat. Juan Ricci in that third place position, needing a combo, 2-wave combo in order to catch Gili Brandao in the lead right now with a berth in automatically into round 4 on the line. Again, first place goes directly into round 4. This is, you got to lose twice in order to go home. So Gili with a victory, or any of these guys with a victory, will go directly into round 4. As we see in front of us here, Machu, again, no shortage of waves he's pulling into. A nice little critical section off the top side hack there, but that wave is looked like it was just that one peak and done. One hit wonder for that one. Again, second and third place still had sort of gone to the relegation round, the knockout round. They still have another chance to continue on. However, their road to victory here at Ho'okipa gets a bit tougher, as they need to go through another couple of heats before they end up meeting the first place out of the first round heats again in round 4. And that will do it for men's round 1, heat number 3. Unofficially, we have Gili Brandao in the lead. Again, we will wait for that to be ratified by our head judge before we call that official. But as we stand at the moment, we are anticipating that unless there's something you didn't see out there, that Gili Brandao will probably advance straight out of that into round number 4. But we'll call that as soon as we have official results of that heat. Step away for a moment. We have a minute in between. We are in sequence for going into heat number 4, round number 1 of the men. We're going to step away for a second, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with you with more live action from the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro here from the island of Maui. We are in sequence for heat number 4 here in men's round 1, and for the moment we are going to go down to our previous heat winner, Mitu Monteiro, standing by with Christine Bose, eyes and ears on the beach. Christine, down to you with winner Mitu Monteiro of the last heat. Right, seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulty catching up with Mitu Monteiro. Victor in that men's heat number 2 of the first round. We are in sequence. The flag is down. We are about ready to begin heat number 4 here, Sky. Just joining me back in the booth. Why don't you tell me a bit about the conditions out there?
Yeah, you know, it was definitely pretty light. I was on my biggest kite, which is a 12. It's not. I actually normally never even ride a 12. I actually busted out my 10 for the first time. It was brand new, still in the bag. It's not a kite I normally use in Maui, and found myself out there on a 12. So pretty light conditions, and I didn't have the best heat, that's for sure. But you know, there's definitely great waves rolling through and fully contestable conditions. I'm just not quite used to riding gear that big. And I'm just stoked that we're able to get this thing underway today. And looks like we got some stacked heats coming up here in round 1.
Yeah, coming up on your screen here, we only have one photo there of defending world champion Ayrton Cozzolino. He'll be coming up against Ryan Coote, a legend in our last event location in Ireland. Made the trip out here to Hawaii. Stoked to be in a bit warmer water. Coming up against Olivier Saute, who played in from the wild card event, and these three on the water just right now. Green flag going up, just heard the horn sound, Sky, and this will be Ayrton's first time on the water here in a heat in Hawaii. Stoked to get out there.
Yeah, reigning world champion here, Ayrton Cozzolino, leaning into that first turn. Beautiful snap off the top there. Let's see what else this wave has to offer. It's got some good speed here coming into this inside bowl. And this is going to be a great opening score there for Ayrton. I hope I didn't just jinx him there. Looks like just coming a little unstuck on that last turn. As we see Ryan Coote there out the back, I think taking a little bigger.
Yes, sir, Sky, and we are again here, heat number 4 of the men's draw. Just about halfway through after this heat is over of that men's first round. Ayrton getting his feet wet out there, getting a wave score under his belt as we begin the early stages of this event. And again, coming up against Olivier Saute, played in as a wild card yesterday. Pretty impressive riding style yesterday. I know he's stoked to make the main event here at Hokipa. And these three just psyched to get out there, do some battle on the water in heat number 4.
Yeah, pretty challenging conditions out there at the moment, Ben. You know, pretty shifty wind, definitely a lot lighter than what we're used to seeing here on the north shore of Maui. But the waves are great. It's kind of a peaky swell. It's kind of the dying little bits of that last north swell we had, northwest swell. But there are still some great waves on offer out there. And yeah, it's just great to see some heats rolling through here already, well into men's round number 1. This heat number 4 of that first round, and we will continue rolling all the way into the afternoon and hopefully finish this round 1 and go straight into round 1 of the ladies.
Ayrton taking a look at this set, rolling in. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much size on it, but Ayrton not needing too much size to be able to wow people with his skill here on the inside. Looks like he'll get a nice little wall to work with.
So nice first snap there, and just throwing a huge amount of spray out the back. Another late hit there, and going for a third turn, and having a little bit of trouble on that inside section. We've seen him go down on both of his waves on that last turn. So probably not going to be a great score for Ayrton, but you know, he's just warming up. This is pretty much his first session in real wind out here at Ho'okipa, so just trying to learn the break a little bit. He's been out here surfing a lot over the past week or so, and just really getting used to the break out here at Ho'okipa.
As we look at Olivier Sauté here on the inside, just able to stay with that wave, but it's going to turn into a big foam ball, not really allow him to do too much there on the inside. Again, we are in heat number 4, giving you some results. Going back to that heat number 2, the first heat that we ran today, again, Mitu Monteiro coming out of that one, I believe maybe with the highest two-wave score we've seen so far in the event, 16.17 two-wave score. Sky sitting next to me, Solbach coming in second place, 10.83 out there. Sean Richmond at 7.33. As we switch back to live action here, Olivier on the screen in front of you.
So Olivier Sauté there in the blue jersey. Nice turn, able to ride out of that one. So yeah, just pretty challenging conditions out there at the moment, just being a little bit light and gusty, but these guys definitely making it work. Ayrton Cozzolino currently sitting in the lead with a 5.5 and a 4.6.
And moving on towards our last heat that we just saw on the water, heat number 3, official results. In the white jersey, the Brazilian Guilherme Brandão coming in first place, 11.33 two-wave score. Stayed about that way for the last half of that heat. In second place, we had Machu Almeida, the Cape Verdean. In third place, Juan Ricci. Both those guys, both Almeida and Ricci, moving on into the relegation rounds, round 2, and then with a victory moving on to round 3. Before going into round 4, where they would likely meet one of the victors of round number 1 heats, and in this case, Guilherme Brandão making it all the way through to round number 4. As we see Ayrton, defending world champ again. He is master of his own destiny. Nice little powerful turn. His riding style fairly, as he's racing around, trying to get around the edge here and get one more turn on this wave. Doesn't quite look like he's going to find what he's looking for, as we have other two riders both on waves same time. Nice little inside turn there by Ryan Coote on the outside. Olivier on a bit bigger of a wave, probably going to offer a little bit more, but closes out into almost a similar foam ball that we saw Ryan there on the last one. So kind of some one-hit wonders out there today, Sky. It's a bit difficult to put yourself in the right position, it seems.
Yeah, wave selection is definitely key out there today, Ben. I know that in my heat I had a pretty hard time kind of trying to pick the good ones. A lot of times you'll turn around on a lump thinking it's going to wall up and be a really good one, and it'll sort of fizzle out into the channel. And it's a little bit unpredictable with this swell we have out there at the moment, being kind of peaky. But if you do happen to luck into a nugget, there's definitely some good ones to be had out there.
Well, we all know what it's like to hook into a good nugget, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I hear that.
Again on the water, heat number 4 of men's round 1. Heat number 5 immediately following this. We do have 5-minute transitions in between these heats. Approaching just about 5 minutes left in this heat. Ayrton Cozzolino establishing himself, again, master of his own destiny. He wins this event. He wins the overall world championship. So I know he's hungry out there, not only for this individual title, but for the overall tour title as well.
So one thing to keep in mind when watching Ayrton Cozzolino is he is a goofy footer. So this is actually not even his natural stance out here at Ho'okipa. So when he's surfing, normally he has his right foot forward, and here he's out here riding frontside. I'm sure we'll probably see him switch stance at some point and try to ride some of these waves on his backhand. But I think in this sort of side offshore breeze that we have out here at the moment, sort of is a bit favored to ride frontside. You can sort of stomp your rail a bit more when you come off your top turn and sort of redirect down the face. So current scores still have Ayrton Cozzolino in the lead with an 11.17 two-wave total. Olivier Sauté in second place, up. Ryan Coote now in second place, scores updating and Olivier Sauté in third. Joining us, this is day 7 here of our 10-day holding period at the Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro Maui 2012. We've got lines rolling in here into the lineup. These riders staging up at the upwind side of our competition area, waiting for, trying to pick off the best waves. Again, wave selection is key here in these shifty conditions.
Coming just the last moment of that wave, Olivier Sauté coming out of a nice power from the back to Ayrton, who a little bit of a thin washout there.
Pretty uncharacteristic of Ayrton to see him go down like that. Looks like he's maybe shaking out some nerves out there. Again, he is riding on his switch stance, and pretty challenging conditions out here at Ho'okipa today. Again, this is men's round 1, so there are no losers in this round. The winner of this heat will go directly into men's round 4. Second and third place will be reseeded into round 2.
This is Olivier, the Frenchman, hanging out here in Maui. Current situation, we have Ayrton Cozzolino, the Italian, 11.17 in the lead holding a lead over Ryan Coote, 5.762 wave score. Again, the 11.17 of Ayrton Cozzolino, 2-wave score. Putting some pressure on Ryan now here in the closing minutes of this heat, needing a low 7-pointer, 7.24 in order to overtake the lead. We see him on your screen in front of you right now on this set. This looks like it might offer up some for him on the inside here.
Yeah, this
speeding down the face.
Nice big
powerful top turn there, and just not quite able to kill the power enough on the kite before it pulls him through into that whitewater.
So Ryan Coote's not used to riding without a wetsuit, coming from Ireland, the location of our last event on tour. I'm sure this is probably some of the warmest water Ryan's ever ridden in, and he's still getting acclimated out there.
Yeah, I was telling you the other day, he doesn't even take bath this warm at home.
Here we go, live action. Ayrton Cozzolino dropping into a bomb out the back. Beautiful first hook, throwing a huge wall of spray. Comes around the quarter, another big hack. Looks like Ayrton has finally found his feet out there. And we'll see if he can hold this one through to the inside. Just having a bit of difficulty with that inside section there.
But still more typical Ayrton Cozzolino style. Super fluid, super powerful. His speed from that bottom turn to the top turn, pretty remarkable, pretty characteristic of when you're watching him ride. And as you said, Sky, that's a bit more what we've come to used to see on tour so far this year. Not able to hold it together quite all the way through on the inside, but still more typical of what we have come to expect out of Ayrton. As we switch live action here, Ryan Coote, the Irish lad out there wearing that shamrock green. I'm sure he's comfortable in that, just ripping apart this wave on the inside.
And that's a good wave, actually.
Little floater off the top there, back into the pocket.
Offering a good bit of open face for him, finishing it off nicely with a floater, and then we'll cut back and he's going to kick out into the channel. So that, I'm going to assume, will be one of his higher scoring rides of this heat. We will wait for scores to drop from that last exchange between Ayrton and Ryan Coote.
Searching for his pot of gold there at the end of the wave section. Sky, I mentioned as we switch back to live action here, Olivier Sauté on the water in the critical section, getting hung up a little bit there on the top, but drops back into the flats a bit. Let's see if this can't offer up a little bit of something for him to do on the inside. Small wave, but a couple of nice little turns on the inside there.
Here we have reigning world champion Ayrton Cozzolino from Italy on another great looking wave. Nice first turn here. Lots of speed, getting that projection up the face. getting a little hung up and just dropping back in. And
pulling the ripcord coming out of that wave. Little air to bum drop on that one. Again, lines out there on your screen. That's Ryan Coote in the background. That's Olivier. Getting hammered. Back to live action there. Ryan Coote on the outside, trying to tuck in and stay with that little pocket right there.
And definitely a bit of a smaller wave here for Ryan, but that last wave, we'll wait for scores to drop from that. That was had a beautiful bit of wall on it for Ryan.
Looks like we still are green flag, still in the midst of this heat. Time winding down, however, but waiting for final scores to drop. Still a bit of time left for these guys to get out there and get the last wave. Current situation has Ayrton Cozzolino 11.17 out in the lead. Ryan Coote currently 8.33, sitting in second place, and Olivier Sauté 6.12 wave combined score.
I'm going to guess that Ayrton's lead is probably going to increase following that last little flurry of waves we saw, so we will wait for those live scores to drop and update you as soon as they are here on our screen.
Yeah, perhaps finding a couple of his Lucky Charms out there, which is pretty interesting. We don't even have that cereal in Ireland. Everyone thinks, Lucky Charms, leprechauns, that's what you expect in Ireland, but they don't even have Lucky Charms over there. As we switch over to live action here, Ayrton Cozzolino, boom, off the top, carrying some speed through and a bit too much there as he laces into the bottom trough there and then out the back. Looks like he's put his kite down a bit.
Here we have Olivier Sauté going for a little lay back there, getting a little hung up in the lip, and he's going to drop back in, see if he can find a little something on the end bowl here to work with. Throwing his fins up over the top and not quite able to pull that one out.
Going for a little layback snap there, turned into a little layback nap there on the inside section there. But Olivier, again, a Frenchman living here on Maui, playing in from the wild card position yesterday, as we see Ryan Coote again in the green as the horn sounds, ending heat number 4 here of men's round 1. Again, we will wait to see official results, but looks like Ayrton will be passing through, barring anything. But again, we did see some pretty good waves there by Ryan Coote at the end, so we will wait to make this final as soon as we can. And coming up right at you next, we will have heat number 5 of men's round 1. But for the time being, we will step away for a few minutes, hear a word from our sponsors, and be back with you shortly with more action from the 2012 Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro.
All right, we are in sequence for heat number 5, men's round 1. In the meantime, we are going to throw it down to Christine Boza, who's standing by with the winner of that last men's heat, Gilly Brandau. Down to you, Christine.
Thank you, Sky. Hello, Gilly. Well done. Won heat number 3 in the men's round number 1. And you were just telling me you actually had a lot of fun out there. Tell the people at home behind the computers as well.
Yeah, it was nice. It's kind of really light, but the thing I like when it's light like this is the wave is too smooth. Like the face of the wave is too clean, and you can really dig your board on the water there and just draw a clean line. So it was fun. I was having fun out there.
And we know you're kind of a little bit of a light wind specialist, obviously. At home in Brazil, you get to ride a lot of light wind. In Peru last year, we saw you ripping in the lighter winds there. We know Maui usually is a little bit of a stronger wind place, and we're expecting stronger winds. But are you looking forward to that too? And being a world champion contender, how is the pressure that you feel going into this event here?
Yeah, I mean, not really much pressure because I'm far behind. I need to get a lot of some strange results to happen to go my way. So I'm just trying to do the best I can there, and if it goes my way, luck on me. So yeah, I like the light winds, but I really like this place here for the waves, and when it's like really pumping and you gotta use your smaller kites, you can move the kite really fast. You can put the kite whatever you want at the time you want and just try to hit the wave at the best moment as you can. So I really like kiting in this place. It's gonna be good when it's really pumpy and going off.
And hopefully we will see that in the next few days. Forecast looking really good. The wind's supposed to pick up. Thanks a lot, Gilly, for joining us here, and good luck for the rest of the contest and, well, for the title race, obviously.
Thank you.
Back to Sky and Ben in the commentary booth.
Always great to hear from the Brazilian Guilherme Brandão, getting through his round one heat and advancing straight into the round number 4. So that'll probably be a day off for the rest of the day for Guilherme. I don't think he'll probably have to compete again today. Currently about 2 p.m. here on the island of Maui. Coming up in this next heat, we've got Luke McGillivray from South Africa. He'll be in the white jersey up against the Spaniard Abel Lago in the green, and Stefan de Figueiredo, Brazilian transplant living on the north shore of Oahu, in the blue jersey.
Just minutes or seconds away from the beginning of heat number 5 here. Yellow flag is up, about to come down. Green flag about to go. Again, this is marks the halfway point of men's round 1 here.
So these riders staging up in the upwind corner of the competition area. See that Nash buoy out there marking the upwind boundary of our contest zone. So Luke McGillivray currently in 4th place on the KSP World Tour, mathematically still in contention to win the world title. A few things will have to go his way depending on how some of the other top-ranked riders finish here. Luke could have a shot at the world title. Here we see him on the first wave. This is Abel Lago here in the green jersey riding on his backhand. I had him confused for Luke there. Both these guys goofy footers, and nice little opening ride there from Abel Lago. And it looks like Luke has actually put his kite down out there in the lineup. Hopefully not going to get crunched by this oncoming set wave.
Yeah, as you mentioned a second ago, Sky, Luke's still mathematically possible. And if it's one thing I've learned hanging out with you is that math is your forte, and I will believe every word that you say when it comes to mathematics. And again, Luke McGillivray, the young South African, stoked to be here. Stoked to have a shot, again, as you said, at the World Championship. However, a few of the big names do need to go down pretty early in order to give him a chance. But coming into the last event here, pretty psyched to be in that position to take home the overall tour victory. But again, taking home the individual victory here at the Hokipa Kitesurf Pro would also be pretty spectacular for the young South African.
Looks like we've got Stefan de Figueiredo here dropping in on his backhand. This is going to be a battle of the goofy footers here. All of these guys riding on their backhand. Stefan, a great surfer. He's been having some great sessions out here at Hokipa over the last week or so. Looks like he's not quite finding the power in his kite he needs, but here we go. Abel Lago here.
Luke McGillivray.
I'm sorry, Luke McGillivray here in the green jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you were wrong this time, Ben. That is Abel Lago. Kind of tough to tell these guys apart from a distance. But Abel Lago there in the green jersey, making his way back out through the lineup.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sky. I've come to question when we were speaking about mathematics. I usually question your mathematics there, but it looks like I'm the one that's going to need a lesson in, I need a vision check or something like that.
You tend to question my judgment no matter what, but in this rare instance, I happen to be correct, Ben. So first scores dropping here for these riders. Relatively low scoring affair so far in this heat. Abel Lago currently sitting in first place with a 3.67, and Stefan de Figueiredo currently in second place.
Again, if you're just joining us live at home, thanks for tuning in. This is round one of the men's draw here at the 2012 Hukipa Kite Surf Pro. Stoked to get this contest back underway. As we switch to live action, just able to stay with it on the inside here, Stefan Figueiredo, but not really able to do much with that as it came in. Back on the outside, we have
Luke McGillivray here dropping in on his backhand. First little check turn, he's going to sort of stop and wait for this thing to wall up, slow down a bit. And another nice little turn there from Luke. He's going to have to get busy here on the inside. Coming around the corner, tries to go for a little foam climb, gets a little hung up, but this is going to be a great opening score here for the young South African. Luke in Maui here for the first time. Had a pretty long flight all the way from South Africa. He was on a plane for about 4 days trying to get here.
And we know how that goes, Sky. Lots of the tour stops on the event schedule this year, taking us far away from friends and family and home bases. Super psyched and stoked that all these riders following the tour this year. It's a commitment to be able to come to all of the tour stops and compete for that overall world title. Again, the more stops that go by, the more that it seems the level of these riders that we see in front of us keeps increasing. At every stop, Sky, every time we see these guys out here, it seems another level has been brought to the entire scene here in the kite surf portion of this brilliant sport of ours, kiteboarding.
Yeah, and it'll be great to see conditions improving over the next couple of days. Hopefully right now we've got pretty inconsistent gusty winds, but here we go, live action, Stefan de Figueiredo. Nice vertical backhand snap there, and getting a bit of open face, and he's going to go ahead and kick out of that, but that's going to be a good little score for Stefan. So pretty great to see a right on tour. We had 4 stops this year on the KSP World Tour, our first of which took us to Portugal, which was the only other ride on tour. Unfortunately, we did not finish the competition there due to lack of winds. So our other 2 events, Ireland and Mauritius, were held in left-handers, so great to see guys like Gili Brandao and some of the regular footers able to finally face the wave that they're surfing. But here we go, live action. Luke McGillivray here.
You know, nice one on the inside, a nice little off-the-top turn there. He's going to try to race around this section, see if he can't get right back into the pocket. Looks like he's there, but not quite the right timing. So pretty much a one-hit wonder on that one, Sky. But maybe just getting out there and getting a feeling for himself again on riding on his backside. We see our killer rescue crew out there on the ski. That looks like maybe photographer Richard Hallman, perhaps, and driven by Hiro-san. Thanks a ton to those guys out there, getting the shots, being the rescue as we switch back to live action here. This is Abel Lago.
Nice, getting a nice extension on that first turn. I really like that, and bringing the nose of his board all the way back around, vertically straight back down the face. So I mentioned just a moment ago, predominantly lefts on tour this year, so it's kind of interesting to see these guys, especially Abel and Luke, riding on their backhand. Gotten pretty used to watching their heats and watching them ride forehand, so pretty cool to see what these guys can do with their backs to the wave.
Yeah, we got a pretty tight heat rolling in front of us here, waiting probably that latest wave by Abel Lago to update. So we go back to live action here. Stefan Figueiredo, just a powerful backside hack off the top there, back into the flats, letting go of the bar a little bit there on the inside. But that's pretty much all he's going to be able to do with that one. But just a nice, powerful climb up that wave into the critical section. Nice topside hack there. As we see another set coming in, two riders on the waves coming in. Looks like that's Luke McGillivray in the foreground, Abel Lago in the back, as Stefan works his way back out to hit the lineup. Looks like Luke's going to pull out of this one. Didn't like what he saw there on the inside. Abel, let's see if he sticks with it all the way. Looks like he's going to set up for a few turns here on the inside. Starts to wall up in front of him. Nice open face for him.
So Abel switching his stance here, choosing to ride forehand on this wave, where he comes from in the northwest of Spain. I believe they have pretty changeable conditions. You can have lefts one day, rights the next, so he gets to practice going both ways quite a bit.
As we see updated scores coming at you on the screen in front of you, Stefan de Figueiredo, two-wave score of a 10 with a 5.17, 4.83. Finds himself in first place here at heat number 5, round number 1. Second place, Luke McGillivray with an 8, 4.67 and a 3.33 two-wave score. And Abel Lago not far behind, 7.67. It's pretty much anyone's game still at this point. Anything can happen in the last few minutes of this heat. We are winding down a little bit, just about 5 minutes or so left in this heat. Plenty of time for these guys to head back out. So we switch into live action. Stefan de Figueiredo falling out the back of that one a little bit. A little shot of our judges' tower there, just underneath that little hill in front of you. A couple of local hotties walking by there, checking out the action on the beach today. A little cooler today on the island of Maui sky with this cloud cover. Not quite the sun-drenched skies that we saw earlier in the week and a little bit yesterday in the afternoon. But wind is here, the waves are here. Everyone's stoked to be on the beach, and hopefully this is a good prequel to what we'll see as this week goes on and the wind picks up and the waves stick around, and it looks like it should be better weather as we get towards the finale of this event here.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in live on KSP World Tour.